It's time for Making Connections, where we meet people right here in our community who make up the fabric of Korean society and hear their stories. From time to time, we also get to sit down with guests who are visiting the country to share about their life, work, and how they're connected to Korea. As we wrap up 2020, we thought it'd be nice to end on a positive note, something uplifting. We've heard so many negative stories throughout the past year that we could all use some good news to wash away the bad. Now, our guests today, one of whom is with me in the studio, are founders of Standing Soap, a social enterprise startup that makes all natural handmade soaps to champion healthy bodies while making a positive social impact on the world. And joining me in the studio for this conversation is Sara Shin, a Korean American with a master's in bioengineering. She currently works as a translator and she's traveled to 17 different countries, which I think is more than me. We'll also be joined on the line by Stephanie Jansen, who has traveled to 50 countries, definitely more than me, and has worked with a humanitarian non-profit since 2015. So good morning, Sara, in the studio. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you and Stephanie are co-founders of Standing Soap, and we mentioned that name before, but you're here and Stephanie's in the States. So how did you two meet and decide to start this social enterprise together?
So we actually met in Thailand back in 2015. We both signed up for this humanitarian mission trip together. We didn't know each other then, but we met together in Thailand. And it's a group of young people who get to travel to different countries for 11 months. Okay. And so we engage in different humanitarian activities throughout. It ranges from volunteering at orphanages, building houses. We worked on farms. We cleaned out pig pens, teaching English. So through those activities, Stephanie and I became really close, and we shared in a lot of our visions and values. So we maintained our friendship long distance still, because she's in the States and I'm in Korea. So we learned how to communicate and keep in contact. And sometime last year, we started talking about wanting to do something together, something bigger that would have a social impact. So from that start of conversation, it continued to grow and gave birth to Standing Soap.
Standing Soaps. Now, is that a company based here in Korea or in the U.S.?
So the base is in the U.S. and we have a branch here in Korea.
Okay. Now, I know you've studied bioengineering. Does that give you a background in making soaps?
Unfortunately, I didn't learn soap making in school, which, although I think it would be a really cool major. But yeah, I studied bioengineering, and Stephanie, I believe, studied international affairs and education. So before starting Standing Soap, we had no background in making soap before. But I think it definitely did help that I studied science, because soap making does involve a lot of science.
There's a lot of chemicals that get involved there.
Yeah, for sure.
And how did you choose soap on your item for your product?
Right. It's a good question. So Stephanie and I, as we were talking, we knew we wanted to do something that would impact society in a positive way, but we didn't have the big idea. So we were brainstorming and looking out for ideas. And one day I was just on my phone on social media looking through posts and saw this soap that was really beautifully designed. And you know how the internet takes you down the rabbit hole? I found this whole world of soap makers and this niche of soap makers. And so that intrigued me. And I did some more research on that. But as I was looking at different soap makers and soap techniques, I also researched hygiene care in different parts of the world. And that's actually what was more interesting, because I found out that such a large number of people were actually dying because of lack of hygiene.
Right. In fact, we know that, soap is more than just something that looks and smells nice, isn't it? Now, let's bring in Stephanie, who is on the line in the United States. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
Hi, and whereabouts are you located?
Well, currently I'm in Boise, Idaho, where my parents live, but I am based and live in Georgia.
Ah, okay. Now, who makes the soaps, Stephanie?
Well, so far me and Sara have both been practicing and making soap, but having the organization be based in the U.S., I've been mostly focused on product development, making the soap, what kind of line do we want to launch as our main base line, since we will be mainly starting the selling, the revenue products for our outreach organizations and stuff here in the States. So kind of focusing on that has kind of been my task.
Okay, and so you're also deciding on the different product lines, as you said there. So what scents go into them, or what colors they'll be, or the different mixtures of chemicals. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Now, has it been a challenge to operate a startup this year of all years in the midst of a pandemic with your co-founder here in Korea?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely been lots of challenges this year. And at the same time, though, it actually has allowed some perfect, maybe, opportunity to start something new. We've had maybe more time. People have had more time at home to think, get creative, have more time to do something you've never done before, like make soap. So it's actually been like a challenging time, but also the perfect time, especially with maybe, like you guys just mentioned, with soap, it's kind of, we are very aware of hygiene right now with everything going on this year. As far as my co-founder, Sara, being in Korea, that definitely has challenge of communication. But I think we've both been doing a good job with the time difference and of, corresponding. And actually, it works in our benefit when I could be sleeping and she could be doing things, and vice versa. So definitely different, but has been functioning really well.
Now, is it mainly online sales or offline, or a combination of the two?
We've definitely done a combination of the two, especially we're starting, slow and local, and actually are just getting things online set up.
Okay, and that's where we're going to have to let go of Stephanie at this point. But thank you for joining us on the line from Boise, Idaho, and we wish you a happy new year.
Thank you. You guys as well.
Thank you. Coming back now to Sara in the studio. So when you start making soap, I mean, I've been fascinated by soap as a child, but I never actually made my own. Do you start with a bucket and some grease? I mean, how does that begin?
Yeah. Oh, you know a little bit about it, more than I did when I began. But yeah, you get like a little bucket and you pour vegetable oil. So there's like good oil, like coconut oil, avocado oil, some butters too that's good for your skin. So you can mix and match different ingredients.
Okay, and then at some point, much later in the process, you decide on a scent, and how does it become solid?
So when the ingredients react with each other, they're all liquid, but when they're reacting, it becomes solid. And in that solidifying process, you add the colors, you add the scents, and you do the design, and then you let it sit for about 4 to 6 weeks until it's completely dry and finished.
Okay, so that's quite a long process then.
Yes.
So you need a storage space to set these buckets and containers down for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like something you can make overnight then.
No, you have to be patient. Yeah.
You've got to be patient, right? Like with all good things, I suppose. Now, why did you choose the name Standing Soap?
So the name reflects our vision statement, which is to stand with others who can't until they can. So that's just another way of saying we want to empower and equip people for their own independence. And so right now, what we're doing is we provide and meet basic needs for people who need help. And hopefully we want to do more than that and equip them or train them and educate them so that they can find their own independence. So our name reflects our vision, our dream, and our hope for our company.
Yeah, so tell us more about that then. So you're helping people, by teaching them how to make soap or to teach them how to sell it?
Oh, that's kind of one of our goals in the future. But right now what we're doing is we do give out soap and we also give out food and other hygiene items. We've partnered with a homeless soup kitchen in Seoul at Seoul Station.
And yes. I think my boss, Michael Breen, worked there giving away some food just before Christmas.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, we actually go out every month to participate in the food distribution too. And we've been able to support them through, we made hand sanitizer sprays and gave them food, and also we fundraise money for sleeping bags because it's really cold right now.
Yes, that's very important. Okay, so and the soap does all this? Or the sales of the soap helped you to
yes.
make
I mean, a lot of it is initially our investment right now, but yeah, hopefully it can balance out more.
Okay, and so in the future you hope to take this internationally?
Yeah, because Stephanie and I both have a lot of experiences traveling abroad and went to different countries and partnered with different nonprofits globally. So our hope is to be able to do that.
Okay, and are there specific organizations that you support in Korea or in the US?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, the homeless soup kitchen, they're called Nanumi. And then we also are sponsoring an at-risk youth program called Hanbit Youth Program. They're renovating a restaurant right now so that they can employ and train youth that need jobs and need help with their making a living.
That can be quite a challenge there, especially this year. We've seen so many people lose their jobs or lose their businesses. How do you scale up something that starts small with just two people making some soaps? How do you scale it?
I think one of the advantages that Stephanie and I had is of being in the nonprofit world for a while is the connections that we have. So with things like volunteering and helping at the soup kitchen, we have people that are willing to join us. But with finances as well, we have been able to receive investment from our friends and families and supporters that we've met throughout the years working in this area.
And is there a dream of at some stage having a large factory making soap in an automated way?
That would be really cool. I don't know if you would call it a factory because everything is, handcrafted.
So it's artisanal.
So more like a workshop.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have, tell us about some of your favorite soap scents or, scents or colors, I suppose.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying, I've always liked lavender essential oil scents, but this time around making soap, I've really enjoyed grapefruit. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of all citrus smells. My cat, on the other hand, not so much. But yes, grapefruit soap does sound good. Lavender, I'm a big fan of it, but not everybody is. Yeah, I found that there are certain smells that trigger people in a bad way. Have you, like, for example, for me, what you Americans call cilantro, or I call coriander.
I love it.
I can't abide by it.
Oh, no.
Do you make any soaps out of cilantro?
Not yet, but actually you gave me an idea.
That's the last thing I want. And also truffle soap would be, to me, an absolute nightmare because truffle smells like someone has taken a handful of dirt and thrown it on my food.
Oh, okay. Now I know what to avoid, what scents I need to avoid.
Yeah, certainly if you're hoping to get me as a customer.
Yeah.
But have there been any smells that have got negative feedback from anyone for any reason?
So far we've stuck with like mostly popular scents.
Yeah.
So I think we're safe for now.
Well, I know cilantro is popular with a lot of people, just not this guy. Yeah, and what are there scents that are more difficult to work with because perhaps they're delicate and they change in a way when you're making them into a soap and then suddenly what started off smelling good doesn't smell good? Have you found that?
Yeah. I'm surprised that you have these instincts and these questions. I've learned by doing...
I'm thinking of getting into the soap business myself. Yes.
Competition. We went through a lot of trial and error because once you put the scent in, like the temperature can change the smell. It can also change the color, the duration. Once you wait the 4 weeks, the color can come out different because of the different scents that you added.
Oh, the color can change too. Yeah, of course. Right.
So it's very versatile and you do need to be have experience in it.
Okay, so it's the color more than the scent that can transform in a bad way, is it?
Yeah, the scent I think mostly just fades away in time, so that's a little bit of an issue there. But
I see. Right. So after you use the soap for a while, it no longer smells as strongly. Yes, I have noticed that. Now, have you worked with the color illuminating? Because that's our question for today, is what is this color illuminating? One of the two colors that Pantone have chosen for the year 2021. Have you worked with that color? Do you know what it is?
No, this is my first time hearing it.
Right. We've got another answer from listener 2311 saying that they think it's yellow. And that it's very vibrant, and it may be. I'll certainly give the real answer away shortly. We have another very important question from listener 8840. How does one get this soap? If somebody wants to get some standing soap right now, where would they go to find it?
Oh, that's
to support your social
such a nice question.
Yes.
So you can go to our website, standingsoap.org, and we are running a give program. So any amount that you donate to one of our partners, so one of the homeless shelters or the youth project that we're involved in, then we will send you a standing soap bar as a gift. So from now till March, everything will be going to these partners. Or if you just want to purchase them, we also have a different section.
Slow down. That's a nice idea. So people just can give money to a good cause, like the homeless people that you're helping, and they'll just receive soap as a gift.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. Okay, so that's standingsoap.org.
Yes.
Okay, and then keep going. Beginning March, you'll be doing what?
So from now until March, all of the funds will go to the homeless and the at-risk youth. Yeah.
Okay, at-risk youth, right. These are children who are having problem at home and can't live at home for some reason. They may be victims of abuse, or they may be running in the wrong circles or struggling at school or something.
Yeah, a lot of them are in their close to their 20s, and they have to provide financially for themselves, but they have obviously the financial difficulties and just family issues and things like that. So this project tries to train them to help them get hired and employed.
Ah, yes. Okay. And then what will be changing in March? Is that when people just go on and order soaps at whatever quantity or color or scent that they like?
March is actually when I'll be going to the States to join Stephanie and for us to work together on specific things so that we can officially launch sometime in the summer.
I have to say it's very brave of you to make a plan for something 4 months in advance. Are you, knock on wood that goes ahead, but are you sure at this stage that you'll be able to go to the United States in March?
I'm really hoping, because I've been trying to go all throughout this year, and obviously because of COVID, I couldn't. Yes. But we feel like March or April would be a safe time, so that's what we're aiming for.
Okay, so a spring resurgence. And how many colors and scents are you planning to put onto the market?
We want to keep it simple, so we don't have a number quite yet. But I think maybe 3 to 5 official lines, but we'll have more special designs for the Give program. So the purchasing ones will be more of the original line, but we will want it to do a little bit of more special additives and things like that for the Give program. Okay.
Now, can any soap, no matter what the scent is, be effective in hygiene? Because hygiene is the big important thing here. Is just simply having the vegetable oil enough to clean somebody? I mean, what is it that actually in soap that makes you clean?
So you do add this chemical into, it's called lye.
Lye.
L-Y-E, not L-I-E. And so that reacting with water and the oils becomes the soap that soaps up.
Okay. So it's the lye that's important.
Yes.
Now, lye can be quite a corrosive substance if you use it in the wrong way, can't it?
Yeah, so you do have to be very careful. You have to have a mask on, gloves, goggles when you're making the soap in the beginning process. Yeah.
Sounds like an episode of Breaking Bad. We've got some other answers here from listeners. 2021 saying that the answer for what color is illuminating is yellow, but today will be purifying white all around Korea, and that, I think, is a reference to the heavy snow advisory on the west coast and on Jeju Island. We haven't seen too much snow this winter, so if you've come to Korea for the snow, stick around a couple more days. You might see it today and tomorrow, Sarah. And we have also 7809 said yellow color makes them think of positive things, so they chose it. And in fact, that is the real answer. I can give it away now. We're close to the end. That illuminating is a variant of yellow. And we have a very positive message from listener 6071 with only 2 more days to go, hoping that 2021 will be shaping up to be a great year, better than 2020. Happy New Year. And that is, I think, really the message of hope that, we hope that 2021 will be a better one than this year. It's shaping up to be. Certainly with soap, we can wash off the smell of this year and stand up and start the new year. Is that kind of your thoughts on this one, Sarah?
Yeah, so I hope that, this encourages people to think outside of ourselves, because this has been a very introspective year too, being quarantined and everything. But I really think that once we start reaching out and looking out at other people who might be suffering or who might be going through hard times, it will really bring a new energy to you and give you a sense of connection and community. So I hope that this encourages the listeners to look outside as well.
Well, I wish you every success, both to you and to Stephanie. Stephanie, with
Thank
your
you.
project for Standing Soap next year. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Life Abroad.